word of that
Fascism.
was just bleh to me.
So
every single syllable was just
I went north and that's it. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm from the Midwest, sir.
There's a town in West Virginia called Big Ugly.
yeah, it's not surprising.
I love these facts so much.
Dude, there were legit 5 jokes running through my
Imagine
mind.
right down where you come from. Big Ugly. Yeah, that checks out. That ain't surprising at all.
Big, ugly West
Just look at your
Virginia.
ID. Are you the mayor?
Because, like, even, like, out of context, it's just like big, ugly West Virginia. It's like, hey, our state isn't that bad. It's like, no, I'm just saying a city. It's a place that exists.
Big ugly, comma, West Virginia. Oh, I would hate it.
Oh, legitimately.
Imagine you're a basketball star hailing from big ugly West Virginia.
It's
Nintendo
debatable.
absolutely knows about the internet Triton because like a couple months after the Bowsette thing happened, they changed the crown's description. It was just like, only Toadette can wear this crown. So it's just like, kill that noise. Martin Luther King Jr. earned a C in his public speaking class during his 2 semesters in seminary school.
Who is that teacher?
Who's the dude?
Okay, is it a white teacher? And is that the reason why?
Let me see. Let me go
Who
look
was
at
the
these,
dude that? Cause you know you gotta wake up one day,
They just go,
20 years
"Oh,
later.
that mom changed everything."
And I gave him a motherfucking C.
He wrote the I Have a Dream speech in school. He's just like, why are you writing about dreams? Dreams are for children.
You'll never make it, Martin. This is trash.
Or does the dude wake up like, yeah, my C incentivized him to get better?
Y'all know I was his teacher.
Yeah.
And I told him that I was pushing him to do better.
Apply
The C
yourself.
was- oh my goodness.
You can go one or two ways with that way. Either A, I'm a fraud, or B, I'm inspiring people so hard that I inspired the civil rights movement. Just through my teaching.
There's just some like physicist teacher in like the 30s is like, oh man, look, I'm looking through all these old papers that I got, physics papers. Look at this D- I gave to this kid named Albert Einstein.
Oh, no, surely that can't be the same one.
Dude, imagine Stephen King in a creative writing class. It's like, C- sir, your adjectives, I don't know what you're doing. A dog with rabies, what's up?
In Tupac in math class, the teacher just comes up, Tupac, what I tell you about writing raps in class?
You're not gonna make it with this. You need these numbers. Get some bucks in you. And then 4 years later, you gotta dance around to slip up. You want the close making it.
You know I taught Sue Tupac.
Oh, dude, I would never sleep.
I'd be shaking.
The PS5 in a year has outsold the Wii U's lifetime sales.
Y'all leave the Wii U alone. Tried his best.
Hey, consumers did.
Accurate.
That's not.
Yes, it is.
Going for.
Early
Yes, it is.
adopter.
Exactly what we're going for.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I will never forget that woman with all them Wii U's in the back of her car, thinking she was gonna flip them boys.
Oh, someone tried to do that near you guys?
No, it's a viral picture.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
You never seen it?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll look it up.
I think I've seen this.
It's unfortunate. Let's see what else we got. Well, actually.
Yep, all I had to look up was Wii U woman.
Wii U woman. Oh, this is gonna be
Get
good.
some. Get some, y'all.
The Wii U woman.
No, I already got it on for you.
Oh, okay.
Where's it going?
He posted it in chat.
Oh, okay. I can look at it. Yeah.
Oh no.
Scalper beautifully boned.
Oh, and those are like even. Ooh. There's probably like 2 per box in the boxes behind her too. Yikes.
That boy's in a back seat and everything.
Yeah, you can see him on the console. Dude, this is at least 10?
She's like, this is my retirement.
Yeah, she thought she was gonna flip these for double, because remember, the Wii was having supply issues, so this is the next console of the Wii, so why wouldn't I do it?
She didn't find it odd that she can buy in 15 of them?
Day one in the store.
Yeah, I was, because of like what the day I went through trying to get a Wii when it first came out, where I lucked the fuck out. By someone's generosity, which, where's that in this world? Where I was just so concerned about getting a Wii U day one, where I just walked into GameStop. I'm like, "Do you guys go Wii U's?" Yeah. Oh. Okay.
And no waste there, bruh.
Yep.
Remember at my GameStop, they had a tower of them built just for people to grab and go.
Yeah,
You
why?
ain't even gotta pay, Pimpin'. Just go ahead and take it.
Because they thought it was gonna be another Wii situation where they were just gonna fly off the shelf. They probably overstocked and everything.
Oh yeah, GameStop for real had that problem.
Please take these. We need to put we have another display that we need to put here.
$100 off, please, anybody.
Can I get this keychain? Absolutely. And here's
Scott.
your complimentary Wii U.
I'm good.
Wii U featuring the upcoming great title, Zombie U. Remember that one? That was one of their big
They
hype
ported it.
titles.
They ported
Yeah, they
it to like
ported it.
PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation 4. It was on PlayStation Plus.
I played it at a con. That was a fun game.
It was decent. I got it because it was a
I
launch game.
will just never forget that trailer. Everybody's just like, end? What? Nobody
I
cares.
remember Mike hyping that bullshit up. Oh, I remember. It's so innovative where you're just like, a zombie's coming and you gotta look down and go shit, and try to get your thing, as opposed to pause, find item. Oh, I remember you hyping that bullshit
Yeah.
up. Oh,
Oh wow, yeah. I'm having flashbacks to that now too.
oh man,
It's a lot better in the Zelda games that came out for Wii U. Having the menu management there.
I minored in history with a focus on the development of Western European socialism. Not socialism,
Every word of that
fascism.
was just clear to me. I
So-
mean, every single syllable was just like,
I'm
ugh.
quick north and that's it. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm from the Midwest, sir.
There's a town in West Virginia called Big Ugly.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
I love these facts so much.
Dude, there were legit 5 jokes running through my
Imagine
mind.
right now where you come from. Big Ugly. Yeah, that checks out. That ain't surprising at all.
Big, ugly West
Just look at
Virginia.
your ID. Are you the mayor?
Because like even like out of context, it's just like big, ugly West Virginia. It's like, hey, our state isn't that bad. It's like, no, I'm just saying a city. It's a place that
Literally
exists.
from Big Ugly, comma, West Virginia. Oh, I would hate it.
Oh, legitimately.
Imagine you're a basketball star hailing from Big Ugly, West Virginia.
It's
Nintendo
debatable.
absolutely knows about the internet Triton because like a couple months after the Bowsette thing happened, they changed the crown's description. It was just like, only Toadette can wear this crown. So it's just like, kill that noise.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 296. It's been a little bit, had a bit of a time skip, if you will.
The time skip arc has arrived.
Not enough of one, if you ask me.
Oh, man. Yep, between a lot of traveling, holidays, work, this has been a crazy time at work for me. Just time. A lot lacking of it.
It truly do be like that sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, thankfully my boss, who me and another worker have been covering for the last 3 weeks, is getting back in. So
Oh, it'd be like that.
definitely gonna be like, how was your trip? Was it relaxing? Was it stress free?
You could take a trip to that seat and start typing. That's what you can do.
No, start getting on Zoom and getting in meetings because I don't want to be a part of them anymore.
So every time I'm just looking at what people are doing career-wise for development, it's always just like, I hate stand-ups. I hate meetings.
Stand-ups are fine. Stand-ups are A-okay. It's the other meetings.
I hear a lot of I'll code for an hour and a half, take a meeting, code for an hour, go on break, code for an hour, take a meeting. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah, stand-up, again, like, if you're doing stand-ups right, you're done in 10 minutes. Like, what did I do yesterday? What am I going to do today? Do I have any blockers? Bing, bang, boom. You're in, you're out. It's the other meetings where it's just like you're talking requirements or you're, like, trying to gauge what, your customer and, or client wants and what have you, and like all those other things, and just like production issues and all. Like, there's just a lot of miscellaneous business politic meetings, I'll call them. That's the stuff that grates on me.
It's middle management trying to find a reason that their job exists.
And like, if the meetings were basically like 99% my job, that'd be fine. But as it stands right now, I was doing the meetings and my job. The meetings that my dev lead is usually on and my job. So that was like that. And we had a whole bunch of other cavalcade of like randomness. So crazy couple of weeks. But things simmering down, hopefully. And getting warmer weather, which is nice. I know you hate it.
Except for tomorrow.
What the fuck is that like? It's blizzarding here.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Crazy.
It's already 50 here.
80 into snow.
It went from 80 degrees into straight up 38 and blizzard conditions.
I only saw rain for me. I'm a bit more south than you guys, so.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Maybe it tapers off because we're supposed to get snow tomorrow.
I'm getting 4 to 10 inches tonight.
45 is the lowest here, but that is still a hefty dip. 40 degree shift.
I'm looking out my window and it is already covering the ground.
Unbelievable.
I thought we were done with this.
We're supposed to get 42 tomorrow.
But you know what? It shoots back up later.
42 inches or 42 degrees?
Yeah, 42 inches, Ralph.
Dude, hey,
That's
with
what
this
we're supposed
weather,
to get.
20 days.
with this weather,
No.
20 days.
Shut the fuck up, Mike.
42. It's I'm giving the 6-inch window of it. Oh wait, no, that's 4 feet, isn't it? I am way off. I am way off. 4 feet.
Jesus, PG.
Christ. My brain. Skyscraper did it.
All right. So, 3 weeks it's been. So there's, a bit of news to catch up on here and there. Some of it's just whatever. Some of it.
If it's whatever, we can get into the good stuff, like that One Piece live action that I'm hearing about.
Oh, wait, was there a trailer?
Oh, no trailer. No trailer. Just some test audience reactions.
Oh, okay. Before we get into that, though, that we'll get into that in just a second. But of course, the weekly reminder, 3 weeks late, that Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, get your vaccines and boosters, wear your masks in crowded indoor places if you are feeling unwell, support Ukraine, support LGBTQ rights. Really, right now, because boy, are they under attack. Support body autonomy, pay your employees what they are worth, and be good to each other.
Dude,
stop messing with kids. Why is this a thing? You heard about the fucking law in what was it, like Tennessee or like the fucking
no. Where it's like you can marry 14-year-olds or something.
12.
Yeah. And one of these states has rolled back labor laws to like with permission. I think like 13 or 14-year-olds can work.
It's that's Sarah Huckabee Sanders' state. I'm forgetting which one that is.
I mean, working, that's fine.
No, it's not.
No, it's
child
not.
labor laws. What are we doing?
Yeah, but
No.
it's just the law. That doesn't matter. If a 14-year-old wants to work at a Burger King, what's stopping them other than just going, hey, the law? What's stopping them from taking people's money?
The law is what stops us from doing most things.
No, how is this immoral? What is the issue with a child working at a Burger King?
While they're
Are we? No, I'm not even gonna. This isn't even a discussion I am willing to hazard. We're not talking about that. Kids don't work. Kids have other shit to do. No, this is a discussion I will not even give a back and forth on.
I'll tell you this. One, a lot of these companies do not care. They will keep kids way past their time, and if kids will work, they will.
That's
work.
absolutely fine.
Kids
that's a legality thing. That's for person
kids
to person.
do not have a sense of responsibility at that age,
and
so they will
learning it. Though.
No, they will not.
No, they physically cannot.
No, but
the brain is not developed. You are not capable of understanding the world around you yet. That is no hard pass.
Every single person under 14 in the same bubble. I don't agree with that.
Oh, dude, no.
Kids have so much more stuff to do at post school. We got homework. We got
sure, but it's a 2-year gap between a 14 and a 16, and that's when they can start working.
But 16,
which is still too young, in my opinion.
That's
a whole nother issue.
That's a personal opinion. But even there, even with like 16-year-olds, some people think that's too young, like Ralph. And 16-year-olds, there are liberties given to a 16-year-old because they feel they have reached a certain level of maturity to be able to handle a workload of both balancing school and work, like driving.
Exactly.
A 14-year-old cannot drive. That's just the law. A 14-year-old can be tall enough to do it. They can be physically and mentally capable of doing it, but that does not necessarily mean they should.
But again, I have not seen, and I'm not really in the kid scene, but
you say that.
I've not seen a huge difference between like a 14.
I hear the noise of thousands of typists on the Discord right now.
When they're not mature enough to work.
What do you think is a minimum age for work then?
I'd say 13, 14.
I have seen 10-year-olds work. Why is that a difference? No, why not a 12-year-old? Why not an 11-year-old? Why not an 11-year-old taking orders at a cash register?
Because I think that's way too young. Because they don't.
That's not a reason though. Because that's the same thing Ralph is saying.
Your brain isn't developed enough.
That's what we're saying.
But again,
I can't. I can't.
But a 2-year difference between a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old with smoking,
this is really a conversation somebody has to have. I can't.
With drinking.
Why can't a 16-year-old smoke? It's just a law, right?
Because they are not mentally capable to understand the harms of it.
But adults aren't.
Yeah, okay, you're essentially trying to separate stupid people from smart people, or capable people from incapable people in certain areas. But
you can't.
Your mental development, there is a chemical thing in your mind. Wait.
Mental development.
Oh, dude,
brain
I
stops
can't
developing
with
at
this.
age 24. No. So then that's when you should stop trying foods, right?
No.
Oh my God.
Dab on them.
No, because there could be a food before you turn age 24.
That's he wasn't even trying to like combat child labor laws. He's like, I have this point
with food.
No, but I still think
there's just chemical makeups in the mind that's just like, I wouldn't want a 13-year-old girl going through puberty, going through those changes, to be handling knives or something. Like,
Not even that, dude. Do you know what women go through in fucking retail in general? Fuck that, man. You can't. I wouldn't put a child who is not ready to be integrated into society at that space. It is unprotected, unsafe, and it is unilaterally terrible. You should not be willing to expose children to the work environment hostilities that come with working in the current fucking culture aspects we represent right now. 2, businesses, when given the objective to put children in harm's way will. Why? They're smaller. They fit into machinery better. So guess what ends up happening? Child mortality rate skyrockets.
About taking a kid into a coal mine.
That's the same thing.
Okay,
But-
with
but-
the things
but-
you've
but-
seen
but
at Burger
Ralph
King,
said-
would you want to subject a 13-year-old to the mental anguish that has happened to those
Mental
types of people?
anguish. If we're talking about mental anguish,
Oh,
I'm
dude.
with you there.
That's the whole
But-
thing.
But again, if we're talking about like the
Dude.
because Ralph was talking about how
Uh-uh.
people need to be prepared for it. Like if somebody if an 18-year-old, they're legally able to start smoking cigarettes, but they have not been educated at all, would you be like, oh no, that's cool?
Well, they have the
mental-
choice of it now because they have reached the age of at least enough mental maturity to go, I choose to do this.
But again,
a 12-year-old.
No, but you missed my thing.
Okay.
They've not been told about it.
Missed
It's
the
like
thing.
They see people smoking, and it's
But-
just like
but-
this is just a thing.
But they can look that information up. That's on them for not educating themselves. A 14-year-old cannot educate themselves on the mental toll of work.
But can an 18-year-old?
On the mental toll of work?
Yeah.
No, but they are at least they chemically mentally mature enough.
But that's
to
my
handle
argument
it.
with food.
Okay, let's just say you win that argument, DA.
Hooray!
Here's the problem with this one.
Hmm?
Here's the problem with this one. The chemical makeup, they are not mentally mature enough to do this.
But do you think that when they were making those laws, they were thinking about the mental maturity?
I think they were worried about putting kids in harm's way.
Yes, the harm's way with the whole
Mhm.
machinery.
But
thing,
mental
because
health
that was the
is-
whole coal miners back then.
Yeah,
when
but
that-
mental
Not
health
even
is
just
also
coal
an
miners. We're talking
aspect of-
actual industrial revolution machinery where kids were getting crushed in engines and all this
But
fun
again,
thing.
we're not talking about that
That
because
still
I'm worried
exists.
about adults getting crushed in machineries.
He's talking literally like quote unquote low impact jobs. Like if there was a kid that could just punch some numbers in a computer, why not allow them to do that? Low impact jobs. But mentally, they should, because look at it like this. A 12 to 14-year-old is more readily going to go. A white one is going to say the N-word because they don't have the mental fortitude to understand, or they just want to do a bunch of naughty stuff. So what's to stop a 13-year-old from just pissing in a sink in Burger King?
You're just saying that though.
I'm saying that 14-year-olds are not mature, and there's a
But you're saying,
scientific,
But
medical...
you're just saying that they're more likely to like say the N-word. You can't just say that.
that 14-year-olds are more likely
Yeah, than a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old.
than a 20-year-old.
20-year-old, sure.
I would say more likely than a 16-year-old.
Well, I would say more. An 8-year-old is more likely to say it. A 3-year-old.
I
is
would
more
say
likely
that
to say
too.
it. A 2-year-old is not likely to say it. We're just
If
saying
the 2-year-old
things
has heard
based
it, they
upon-
are more likely
but-
than a
but
than a
yeah,
5-year-old,
you're just saying
than an
things
8-year-old,
based upon
because
essentially nothing.
because they learn more and they keep growing mentally, and then they start recognizing right
what
from
do
wrong.
you learn more about the N-word from 14 to 16?
How wrong it is, because some people.
Where? I read Huck Finn in the 7th grade.
Mhm.
But again,
Okay.
that's not really fair for me because I'm a black person.
When did you start learning that the C word was bad for Chinese people, for Asian people?
When it was bad,
When did you start recognizing that it was bad?
like 12.
Okay, so you at 12 are less likely to say it than you at 10 because you recognize now that it is a bad thing. A 12-year-old...
I didn't say that. I didn't say it because it's not a word in my lexicon. So I wasn't just like, oh, this is just a word. And I'm just like, well, oh, it's whatever, it's over there. But I wasn't like, oh, this is a bad word. I'm just like, oh, it's just a word. Then it was just like, oh, this is a bad word.
Okay, but if you were a 12-year-old, because we used to cuss as 10-year-olds, 10, 11-year-olds outside of parents. You did, kid. I remember you swearing. But eventually that swearing, you were just like, I don't like that. I don't want to do that.
I did not.
Dude, absolutely you did.
Bruh,
You
did
should have
not
cussed
remember
right there just to
that
emphasize.
that we want to be called remake Naruto AMVs.
I sure. There are some things you're not going to remember. Absolutely.
But this is the thing that we're remembering.
Yeah, that's you as an 8-year-old said swear words.
That is a good point. Majority of the states in the U.S., you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes. They even
Now
raised
you
the
do.
age of that.
They've raised the age because they figured out that 18-year-olds are likely not mentally mature enough for the ramifications of
But
smoking.
again, I don't think that it should be a your chemicals or whatever. I think it should be an educational thing because this is sit down somebody and just go, these are the hazards of smoking.
I'm talking outside of smoking. How do you educate a 13-year-old on if he can or she can work now?
And how do you educate a 16-year-old? It's just you are
because
ready
now they've gone through the school system. They've gone through enough of the school system to be able to manage their workload, whatever that may be. If they're doing after school programs, if they're doing practices, they know how to manage their time better than a 12-year-old now.
Again,
12.
12. I'm not
12-year-old,
talking
you're
about
still
12.
like playing.
No. Well, I'm not talking about 12. I'm talking about 14.
More than 14-year-olds.
I wouldn't say that.
It's easier to do that than go by a case-by-case basis by going, here's a test, oh, you're mature enough, here's you can go into... Because at any time, mental health can deteriorate, and these jobs are taxing on mental health.
Sure. But then we also could just
Like,
go,
have you seen someone get berated for like counting a register wrong? Like
at
counting
10
the money in
years
a
at
register
Burger King?
wrong.
No, not a single time.
I'm just
Never
saying there are
Why am I
people that
getting
will do
blamed?
that. The people like all the stories that I feel like Triton talked about when he was working at Wendy's. Can you imagine getting lambasted like that as a 12-year-old and what that would do to you?
Do you agree that a 16-year-old can handle the lambasting better than a 14-year-old on average?
I can't say that.
Then there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
I was about to cut it off as well because I'm like, this is a 3-week chunky week. This is not the conversation to be had with this one.
it's not a conversation to be had at all. But hey, okay.
But
No.
Ralph,
No.
can I stop
Ralph,
you?
Wait, you went straight into machineries and stuff, Ralph.
Uh-huh.
Your mind is already off there. That's a
And
completely
Ralph,
different conversation.
Can I
that we were
say
gonna have.
if we want to move on, you should not make a snide comment like that to poke the bear to respond.
Ralph likes poking bears. So, One Piece.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Because
So,
the whole thing.
$50. I forget how much it was.
It was $50.
All right, Venmo, Cash App.
Now,
What we doing?
I will save you a little bit of grace in that
It's a test screening, and they're.
I'm not
going
even
back
talking
to-
about test screening. I'm talking about this is a person that we do not know is an insider. They have secondhand information about this from a single source, and from the leaked scripts and things we have heard, it is not the same as what they said episode 1 was. And Baratier is already episode 3. So there is a chance this is simply fake. And that's the only grace I'm giving
Keep
on
that
this.
faith. Keep that hope.
Because,
My whole thing is my faith is that the source was just like, all right, this sucks, and they're going to rework some things. So maybe that reworking could fix some stuff.
If they're rewriting entire episodes, if we put it like this, if we see a trailer this year, it did not get reworked. If we do not see a trailer this year, it got reworked.
Because the leaked stuff from the insider source or whatever they were, it was just like the first episode is largely the past with Shanks and stuff, and then like the last 15 minutes, it's just like, here's the introduction of Sanji, here's the introduction of Usopp, here's the introduction of Nami, and it's just like bam, bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam,
all
bam.
four
And
of them. The
and
main
that sounds
5.
awful.
Yeah, no. That's why I'm saying I don't believe that's true at all. Period.
I can
Because
only-
from the leaked scripts we've seen,
I haven't
that is
seen
not
any
it.
of them.
I've seen one. I've seen one for the first episode.
I mean, trying
they
to
then I'm not gonna say anything. But
no, you can say it. 'Cause it might not be real, or it could just be reworked up like the Powerpuff Girls.
They're adding a little bit of things like remember Zoro wanted to got contacted by Baroque Works. It's essentially he meets with a Baroque Works agent and they talk about him joining that type of
sounds
thing.
fine.
Yeah, no, it's those types of things.
Seems a little bit, because that seems like some season 4 stuff.
No, but it's a setup.
If it is worth doing there.
I mean, but if you're in Whiskey Peaks and it's just like, oh yeah, Baroque Works, that sounds familiar. They tried to recruit me. Then when you go to season, which would probably be season 2, maybe 3 at that point, because you have the Reverse Mountain, and then they go to Drum Island, not the Drum Island, but the one before Little Garden, Drum Island, Whiskey Peaks. No, Whiskey Peaks, Little Garden, Drum Island. Yeah.
Season 2 or not.
Yeah, season 2 or season 3. So,
So-
we'll get there.
The test screenings, I'm assuming, largely negative.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. What was it? What was it called? It was something ridiculous like cluster. They said the CGI was horrendous.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
boy.
I'm worried about, because that's what people are coming for. Slaughter fest.
It was a slaughter fest.
Because yeah, the key word that in this bet, it says DA bets BG $50 that One Piece live action will look all right.
Should have been a little more qualifications with that. Because what if something like Luffy stretching looks amazing, but the Fishman looks horrible? Like, how do we weigh that?
I mean, my whole thing has been the Fishman since the jump. So,
But it's less time with them as opposed to the stretching.
I would say,
we'll it's one of those things where we'll know when we see it.
yeah, like porn, just like yeah, that's.
It's like, all right, pull the cord.
So yeah,
I'm reading through this
that's
now.
all bad. Oh, dude, it's the big stinky poo. If it's true,
If it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope that Oda has enough juice to be like, nah, especially after 4 kids.
4 Kids was a travesty. I mean, One Piece is barely recovering in the U.S. at this point.
20K that it won't look good. Imaginary fun bucks.
That it won't look good. Okay, there you go.
All right.
We're
So
gonna get a leaked image and it's gonna be over. And I'm gonna be so sad.
let's see here. So most of us have seen the Mario movie at this point, correct?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph
I think
has
Ralph
not.
is the only one that hasn't.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, is there even anything to spoil in it?
No, there's not. I don't care.
Mostly
My
it's
whole-
like the cameos.
Yeah, that was my biggest spoiler. I was just like, I don't want to know that Waluigi and Wario are or are not in it. Anything else is just whatever. And they were not in it, and I was disappointed.
Well, that's gonna be movie 2, my friend. At the very least, Wario for sure is probably gonna be in the second movie.
Because I'm like, Charles Martinet. They're like, yeah, he's got a role in it. I'm like, okay, he's got to just be Wario and Waluigi. Just put him in there. It's good. But it's not
And he
like
can do that over the top.
Yeah, he
accent
can
now.
be, but no, it's just he's his daddy, and he's the little
Plumber that does the
Yeah.
Mario jump.
It's
and
just
I
it's
roll
Jump
my
Man.
eyes.
It is Jump Man.
I roll my eyes the hardest at that
It
point.
was Jumpman, but it was also a reference to the old Mario from the Mario Super Bros. show.
I
Cat
rolled.
Blue Albino.
I
Yes.
rolled my
As
eyes.
soon as he
the
started talking, I was
hardest.
just like, I was just like, that's what they got for him. It pissed me off, and then I saw him in the credits as his dad, and I was just like, okay. that's
Oh,
fine.
Divine Wing, you're with DA. He did not care about. He did not care for Girl Boss Peach.
It's not that I didn't care.
Thank you for the
it's
follow,
just
by the way,
that
Divine Wing. Sorry, go ahead.
it's just that that's more Daisy-like,
And that's my whole problem. Where's
and
Daisy?
Peach
So
is-
what's Daisy gonna be?
What's
she?
Daisy gonna be like? Is she just gonna be
I
another?
feel like
Peach?
they could make her even spunkier though.
But again,
Like
we're
it's like,
going
well, Peach
7
was
to
girl
10.
boss. In my opinion, she still was like not spunky. Like
A bit regally.
yes,
But I feel like that just doesn't differentiate them enough
Yes.
at that point.
I mean, they could dial up the spunk to 11. We'll see. That's
But
you know
at
what?
that point, she's
You know what? Don't
comical.
take that phrase out of context. Woo! As soon as I said it, I was like, no, come back.
But overall, this was, I mean, a movie.
Yes, it is. It was a film. I got like 2, maybe 3 sensible chuckles out of it. The fight with Donkey Kong and Mario was very good.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the cat stuff. I was like, this is where it's hitting.
Mm-hmm. Dude, so like, you know, I'm looking for little like references and tidbits left and right as I'm watching this movie. Just the little, like when Luigi's in the haunted place, I'm just like, wait for it. And then you hear the little bit of Luigi's Mansion theme. I'm like, cool. Was looking for
And
Smash.
that's, you know, can I stop you real quick? That's exactly what Mario fans, the entire movie. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. I see a thing, I hear a thing, I recognize a thing.
We
Cool.
need carts, and then they do the sound with the carts, and it's just like, oh, like Mario Kart. That
I was trying to find even like I was trying to find even more niche references than that. Honestly, like
no, yeah, that's what it is. Like when Mario was walking down through the town, you could just look to the background, like, okay, what's going on in this background?
and just like for a few things, I'm like, okay, Peach needs to do a float once, and she did. I was like, cool. I'm like, all right. Let me see different little Smash Bros. Moves. Like, anytime Mario was doing a big punch, I'm like, that is basically the forward air animation. And then I'm like, and Luigi needs to headbutt somebody. And he did.
Donkey Kong did the roll.
Yes, he did the roll. That's more like straight from the games.
When he grabbed Mario, I'm just like, wind up your fist, wind it up, come on. And he just did. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no super punch. But,
I enjoyed Luma a lot. I feel like there's a lot of people that were like, it just kept going and going.
Cut it in half and I would have enjoyed it, but it just
Which is fair. I enjoyed the minute times they were on, where it was just like a line or two, but that it drawn out. I'm just like, eh.
But yeah, and that was the thing. I guess going back to Charles Martinet. Obviously, it's like the beginning thing. It's just like I didn't really mind that it was just like they did the like had him do the Mario voice, but my first thought was like, this early, it's the first 10 minutes of the movie and that's the cameo that early, really?
That, my exact thought.
And then once they got to the family scene and his dad started talking, I'm like, that's the voice he used in Dragon Ball Super. I'm pretty sure that's Charles Martinet. And the more he talked, I'm like, yep, that's him. And I found it so funny when talking to people about this, where it's just like, they're like, yeah, like the cameo of Martinet, that was fun, it's a little voice. I'm like, but did you know his other voice? They're like, no, what? I'm like, yeah, he was his dad. They're like, oh, I didn't even realize it was him. And like, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, that's the fucking point we all had about Pratt.
I mean, legitimately, if he lightened that voice, I would have been perfectly fine with that as a Mario.
Especially at the end where he was, Craig congratulating Mario and Luigi, and he did a wahoo. I was just like, oh, that's him.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And Chris did the Mario in the beginning. I was like,
when he did the Italian accent.
Yeah, the commercial.
Fine.
I liked his Italian accent.
I'm like, why not this? And I'm like, okay, it's a one-off joke. Come on now. And they're making fun of it. I'm like, no. This has been 30 years and you're making fun. No.
I liked his a lot. I didn't like Dave's Italian accent as much. I feel like it was a little too put on, but I liked his regular voice. So
it worked. It's the best.
And they're already talking about a spinoff show.
Good, because
not show but movie.
Criminal.
He was there.
7 minutes in this movie.
One of the best voices.
But Toad is just farting around here, and I can't tell you about that thing. And I hate that.
That's Toadist, DA.
So I recognized eventually what Mario fans felt. And they felt that pop. Like, oh my God, it's this. Oh my God, it's that. When at the end, Luigi saves Mario from Bowser with the shield. And I'm just like, I popped hard for that. And I went, okay, this is what they're feeling throughout the entire movie. The single
best part of the movie.
But I recognized as well that I'm not popping for, oh my God, it's Luigi and he's doing a thing. I'm popping for the moment of a character doing a character-like thing that also ties into the messaging. Now, part of the reason I had a problem with this is it is completely disjointed, because you have the instance at the end where Mario's hurt. He's in his restaurant. He's in that restaurant, and then the commercial plays or whatever, and he's like hiding from Bowser as Peach and Toad and them fight Bowser and stuff. And he's just hiding out, all hurt, and it's to convey fear. He's afraid to go back out there. But when has Mario shown fear in this movie to face something or someone? Enough to where you go, I want to hide away at this pivotal moment. And it was just like, this is a manufactured moment to feel bad for Mario and have the hero moment of still standing up even when you're downtrodden and hurt. Couldn't stand it.
But
Daisy should have just been the princess of this movie.
It should have been Mario, Daisy, and Peach instead of Toad. Get them out of here. But someone also just didn't like.
So and the other part that I really liked about this movie when they did
just cut you off completely.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I was just like, I just also didn't like where it was just like, this is a power up, and we just have power ups. And
I enjoyed the power ups.
No, I like the implementation, but it was just like, these are power ups.
What would you have liked them to explore it more? Or
yeah, because it was just blocks that you hit, and then you get a power up. Are they infinite resources? How are they made?
Maybe Daisy will explain it more whenever she comes, because she more than likely she has more grown up in this world, or born into this world or something than Peach. Maybe they'll do something like that.
Peach was she was
transported as a kid. Yeah, I don't know if she ever cared enough to go. Where did these come from?
I feel like she would if she's girl boss.
But okay, people say girl boss, but she's clearly not that. She's just a competent woman.
I'm using it as a shorthand.
Yeah,
but through that whole big montage, we saw Mario eating mushroom after mushroom after mushroom, and I'm like, are they just infinite resources? Is this just the mushroom block that you just put here and it's just like, okay, infinite power up mushrooms?
This is one of those things, and I hate to be that guy that says it's a kid's movie, but
that's my thing. It could have been 13 minutes longer and gotten rid of.
I do agree that the movie was criminally short. They bum rushed through a lot of stuff
while trying to go to as many places as possible.
Mm-hmm. That's probably like my biggest complaint. Is just the movie was too short and they didn't allow a whole lot of things to breathe. But the other thing that I was going to get to was the music when they didn't use licensed music. And I guess that's really the biggest complaint. When they didn't use licensed music, the score actually was really, really fucking good when they like incorporated previous
would not
games.
Agree.
Really?
All those remix songs.
I like
some of them. Yeah. I was just like, I don't care for these at all. Oh, I recognize it. Maybe I was just in the mindset of, oh, I recognize it, so I'm meant to clap here. And I'm just like, I'm not clapping. If I hear them out of context, I'll like.
Yeah, because like I just thought they were just actually good too. Like the Starman theme when they're fighting Bowser, just like how they actually put it in orchestra and stuff sounded really cool and it fit the moment. But did you guys stay for the post-credit scenes?
No.
So the end post-credit scene was a tease for Yoshi, but they framed it exactly like the early 2000s American Godzilla movie of the egg hatching in the sewer.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It was pretty funny.
But that sounds like it would have been better if they didn't just show Yoshi in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the Yoshi. It was just a whole bunch of other Yoshis, not our Yoshi. Because there is a difference, seemingly.
Unbelievable.
But, yeah, overall, I talked about this briefly with BG yesterday. I'm kind of in his boat, like, purely as just, like, movie, looking at it as movie. I'd give it, like, a 6 or so, but I am a fanboy, so that does bump it up a bit for me.
Yeah.
I just wish it was funnier, because... like, one of the biggest, like, wait, what scenes was when Mario was trying to get into the castle and told, like, I'll handle this, oh, what do you guys want to eat? I was like, what?
It's, so, I just found it funny, too, because, again, they're, like, kind of talking about the nostalgia of things and what have you. So, my sister and my brother-in-law took my nieces to go see the movie. They liked it a whole lot. But my... older niece, who's like just about to turn 7, she was just like, why were you guys all laughing at like stuff that wasn't funny? It was like all the nostalgia stuff. My sister like tried to explain the concept of nostalgia to my 7-year-old niece. She's like, I don't get it. So I found that pretty humorous. But yeah, it had.
But that's part of the thing. You say it's a kids movie, but it's clearly some things that are just like.
Well, they do that for every kids movie, though.
We know the true audience of this.
Mm.
That's why they got Chris Pratt in them and things like that. It's for the adults to be like, oh, this is something. So I feel like they should have leaned. It should have been 60-40 kids, adults.
Instead of like, what, 80-20 ish, probably?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is as it stands. Because it was just, like I said, I got a couple of sensible chuckles, but that's about it.
Also, why the fuck in the release of the Peaches track did they just decide to pitch Jack Black's voice down?
No clue, dude.
It's so weird.
And it's such a good song in the movie.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of like how this movie is doing, had the biggest opening weekend of any single video game movie ever, and has now made the most currently out of any video game movie ever. It is sitting pretty at over 500 mil.
700 mil. Almost.
Sorry, 700?
It's almost 700.
It might make $1 billion.
Oh no, there's no 659 million worldwide right now.
Okay.
It's giving a bad message.
And this is part of the thing. You say people say, "Oh, it's a kids movie." It's doing the most of any kids movie ever, potentially. Why do you think that is? Because it's a bunch of schlubby 30-year-olds going, not the kids.
In addition to the kids.
In addition to the kids.
I wouldn't say not the kids.
But
this seems like a movie that a parent is more willing to take a kid instead of like Minions 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
This feels like a bunch of Star Wars parents trying to get their kids into Star Wars. You might already know about Darth Vader, little Timmy, so let's go see the Star Wars. You already know about Mario, so let's go see the Mario, because I personally love Mario.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so do you think this, like, there's going to be a sequel, like, almost guaranteed, of Mario, but do you
I think it's one and done.
I do that.
No, they're making it right now.
Do you think there are other Nintendo franchises that are going to be looked at now?
I mean, what can you do? Star Fox is about it. Samus, Star Fox.
Zelda, it's not kid friendly enough.
Just again, you have to get around the whole Link talking thing. And how do you?
But you can do that now.
You can, but
they've shown the blueprint for Mario.
Is it acceptable though? Because Mario is spoken. Mario has a personality. Mario talks. Mario does things. Mario has a relationship with his brother. Things like that. Link is the typical
stone
blank
tablet.
face.
He is the epitome of silent protagonist. He is the definition.
I mean, but if you just make him a stoic hero, it's the same.
Sure, but you're implanting a personality that people might not gravitate towards because it's like, this ain't my Link. Somebody might be like, my Link is a more jokey Link.
But they're gonna say the same thing for Mario. They would have said the same thing for Mario.
But this
incompetent Mario.
This that's why I said this is setting a bad precedent. Because now they're just like, oh, we can just make whatever, whoever, wherever.
Yeah, if you're going kid stuff, like, my first thought's Kirby. Because
I don't know how a Kirby would play.
That's they did the cartoon and that was okay-ish back in the day, but yeah, honestly, like, if they wanted to do something more geared towards adults, and I've said this constantly, Metroid.
But I'm telling you, with kids, Star Fox
would do. Yeah, I think Star Fox would do good for kids as well. But
or F-Zero. I can see F-Zero.
No.
They would never do it.
No,
but
they're not even talking about making games.
They're not making a game for it.
Hey, maybe this will be the judge.
They put in Captain Falcon in the Min-Man trailer, like, here you go. This is what you guys wanted, isn't it? It's like, no. It's like, you wanted Captain Falcon, here he is. What else do y'all want? Leave us alone.
But yeah, just like
Wind Waker Link, I could see that.
In terms of like, each of the Links do have, like, kind of sort of a personality. It's just they don't talk, and it's just like, how do you reflect that in speech? Because again, most of the only things that we have of Link talking, he's just like this little douchebag.
A little douchebag hero would be great. You're the hero on time, and you're a little douchebag.
Go watch the Zelda cartoon and the Zelda CDI games. That's all the douchebag Link you will ever need.
That's not mainstream selling. They're not doing that for a kids movie.
A little rapscallion Link.
Something like a rapscallion is different than a douchebag.
I mean, but rapscallions are douchebags. They're just kids.
No, you're talking about not Richie Rich. Who's the little other little
Max
kid?
Bucks. Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace. That's what I'm thinking of.
But he was a menace, and he was a douchebag.
No. He was a little rapscallion. Don't you remember the movie? He did things that saved the day.
Yeah. Well,
so does Link in the cartoon.
Slingshotting people's butts.
I'm very happy that you said that you didn't say what did he do, DA? Because I don't know what he did. You could have called my bluff, but you believed in me.
Is Kevin McArthur a rapscallion or a douchebag?
60-40 douchebag.
Rapscallions are just douchebags as kids.
Oh yeah,
I
think that's just
adult douchebags are assholes.
I think at the end of the day, that's just a big hurdle that I feel like they're going to do in a game before they try and attempt to do it in a movie. But yeah, again, Samus. Again, there is a wealth of backstory about that character that I love that is just in a manga right now. Get it in a movie.
Or no.
Okay.
If I'm not happy, nobody's happy.
Yeah, I think that's a bit more of a risk than Mario.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because there's a lot of lore and stuff like that. Just so you're gonna have people scrutinizing the story.
Then
Exactly.
It should not be for kids. Zelda can't be for kids. It's too deep of lore. Because Mario's just, he comes here, he jumps on things, he rescues the princess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And somebody like Mike would want more from a Zelda story.
Than a kid's movie.
Oh,
and
dude,
a kid would not gravitate.
You don't know
towards it.
how. Like, I don't think I'd be more critical of anything in my life.
He started the new revisited.
Solo revisited, and I'm just like, this is the best movie ever made. Factually fucking wrong.
How dare you say Link's personality is?
Oh boy. But speaking of Zelda, though, we got the final trailer for Tears of a Kingdom.
One of these days, I'm actually gonna play Breath of the Wild. One of these days.
Yeah, I mean, if your brother hates it, more than likely.
I mean, we're not the same person. We're just very in tune. There are things we greatly differ on.
But yeah, honestly, like, that is what 80%, like, I've had the trailer on repeat for a while now, but it's honestly because of the music. Score in that's very good. I want it as its own separate track, but they probably aren't going to give it to me until the next Smash Bros. Game, like they did for Breath of the Wild. I'm going to be a sad, sad panda. The sax in it's awesome. I want that Ganondorf theme. Also, Matt Mercer was finally able to announce that he is indeed voicing Ganondorf. And honestly, just like watching him big cheese on Twitter about being so happy and like being excited about the role and stuff, that's cool. But yeah, a month away, and I just keep seeing shit about people like digging into lore and stuff. I'm just like, fuck, man. I need it. I need it in my veins. That whole week after, gonna be streaming it. The whole damn week after, basically.
Unbelievable.
I am excited. Let's see here. Oh yeah. How was Skyscraper, BG?
Terrible. Like I said it was. Remember the year it came out, I gave my worst movies of the year list, and I believe that was number 3. Skyscraper is a terrible movie. And I'm glad I was able to open up a young fan's eyes on such.
But Dwayne the
No, when it comes to Triton, you can say DeWalk.
I was about to say DeWalk Johnson. Dwayne DeWalk Johnson. He's never made a bad movie though, right?
Oh, he's made so. Here's the thing: Rocky cannot act. It's either he cannot act, or when he's just given free range to act, he has a flat acting type of style.
I will say that he can act, but he can act in his lane. He's not.
Then he can't act.
Then he's got a thing to. We're not asking Michael Jackson to sing the blues, all right? He got his lane.
Yes. Okay.
But,
so you.
That's a bad.
But no, he
example.
couldn't sing the
probably
blues.
couldn't. Yeah. We're not asking him to do heavy metal.
I feel like he could get to some of those higher pitched screams.
Michael Jackson's not a good example, all right?
He never is.
We're telling, Michael Jordan, he's not that great at baseball. He tried.
Okay. That means he cannot play baseball. He's great at a sport. I'm not saying
He kept in his lane.
No. There is no. When it comes to acting, you've got things like dramatic acting, comedic acting. Some comedy people cannot do dramatic things. They stay in their lane. Period. But Jim Carrey can switch between the two.
He's a very good actor.
Jason Bateman can switch between a comedic every guy
He's
or
a very good actor.
he's a very good actor. This is what I'm saying. The Rock can only ever truly be The Rock because he is not a good actor.
I think that he's good within that small bubble.
Then anybody can be good in any small bubble.
No, if you're looking at it as
Haley.
doing this, he's good. But as a whole, no, he's not good. I'm not a good
Okay,
cook,
okay.
but I can make a pretty good soup.
What is he good at?
The Rock.
Okay. Why is that good?
Because he's been doing it for 30 years.
It's not good. When I watch him act, when I watch him in Skyscraper, in Rampage, and all these movies, it is the same character. It is the same inflection. He rarely goes up and down in his register. He rarely emotes emotion.
Then that's not what I'm talking about. Then I'm talking about Jungle Cruise, a movie that I haven't seen.
He was The Rock.
Yeah,
And I saw
good,
that,
wasn't he?
And it was a terrible movie.
Oh, that's not what I asked.
No,
You
was not
said
good.
movie. We're talking about The Rock. We're
The
talking
Rock
about his
was-
acting performance, and you went, "That's a terrible movie." That's not what we're talking about.
He was The Rock. That's
All
the
right
first
then.
thing I said.
All right, there. That's what
There
we're
have been
doing.
2 roles where he's done more than be The Rock, and that's Maui from Moana, which he was basically The Rock.
Which he will be again. Live action. Here it come.
And when he played the gay dude, I forgot in the movie. That's about it. It was one of his first roles. Even
Yeah, I know.
as far back
it
as
was like a cop movie or something.
yeah, even as far back as Tooth Fairy, he has always just been this guy. He is not a good actor. He has a great look,
Great presence.
great presence. Mark Wahlberg, there are times where he's horrendous. There's times where he's pretty good. I cannot give you too many pretty goods from Gal Gadot is horrible. Is he Gal Gadot bad? No, she's a bad actress. Rocky cannot act. There's a difference.
It's a slim margin.
It's a
But
slim margin.
There is a margin.
You are bad at your job. You cannot do this job.
Just turn them on and off, back on again.
Oh yeah, like I said, Triton had to leave the screening twice.
Oh boy.
Yeah, enjoy it. And now he's trying to get Gemini Man. Oh, it's good.
Somehow save for Ruby though. I don't understand that.
It'd be like that.
No, it don't.
No, because he knows what Ruby is.
It
No.
don't be like that.
I will get to that. We'll get to that. He knows what Ruby is. He knows to go into it looking at it like it's at best going to placate me, but it's most likely going to be bad. Skyscraper was a movie he said was good. And that's his mindset going in. And then he has to realize the turn.
It's like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, am
I
I
think
the
that's actually
fool?
true. What Jet
What?
said. Batista
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
Cena.
We talked about it during the Skyscraper watching. Dave Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor. John Cena is second. Rocky exists.
Which you wouldn't like, because like his first big role, Batista, was Drax.
Yeah.
And that was just, big dumb guy. But then he gets into these other roles and you're like, oh damn. He got range.
Like I said, I f***ing loved him in Hotel Artemis. I f***ing love that movie. I watch a lot of movies, y'all.
All right, I'm gonna breeze through some quicker things. Horizon Forbidden West had a story DLC, which I flat out fucking missed. It's coming out in a few days, April 19th. There's a trailer for it. Resident Evil 4 came out, the remake, in the weeks that we went by, and haven't played it yet. It's been getting real good reviews. With
the Resident Evil 4, anybody knows Crow Cat or however you say it? He's done a lot of comparisons of like Mass Andromeda, the 5-year mess, or Far Cry 5 compared to Far Cry 2, those types of things. Very popular. He put out a video which was the Resident Evil 4 remake versus the original. Resident Evil 4 remake has no soul. So he just did a bunch of comparison shots like, there's no soul in this game, it's all sanitized and stuff. And he got so much in pushback. He changed the title to Resident Evil 4 remake is a masterpiece. oh yeah, legitimately. I'll show you the differences.
How can you change the title but not
the video?
The video.
Yep.
Wow.
Legitimately. And then something in the description still has the soul thing in it. Soul versus soul is Resident Evil 4 comparison. And then he put it's a masterpiece and now he changed it back again. Craziness.
Wow.
Did you watch it?
Oh yeah.
Was it a good video?
No.
Oh.
There are things one of the things he counted as soul was being able to look up Ashley's skirt and she reacting.
Oh. All right, good.
Yep. And she doesn't do that in the remake, so it doesn't have as much soul. One of them was like the scenery of the village when you're standing on a rooftop. One side had a lot of building and the other side was a rocky terrain. So the side with the buildings had more soul. Now, there were actually good ones, like the El Gigante introduction, where in the original, it's all these villagers pulling it in, and it's slamming them and killing them and going wild, whereas in the remake, it just opens the door and it's just like, I'm here, roar. That's a good comparison of the original was way better. Other things are like stylistic choices. It's crazy disgusting. Crazy disgusting.
Interesting. Okay, moving right along. HBO Max, as of on May 23rd, after they fully merged with Discovery Plus, will now just be called Max.
It's a terrible name.
It's
Very
a really bad name.
But from what we hear, it's because it's not so much HBO was trying to save their prestige. It was more so that Discovery was scared to be associated with HBO and Warner Bros.
Due to the current climate.
I wish people would be honest with themselves. Mother's Basement said Bleach is very bad years ago. Now it's good because pretty bad arc, but hey, it's shiny. A lot of people trend surf. They go after whatever the popular opinion is to reinforce those types of arguments so they can get the views. Hey, you think this thing is good? It is good. Hey, you think this thing is bad? It is bad.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe he's just in the mindset of now it's good because it's pretty, which is also a horrible thing.
Yeah, disgusting.
Because that's a lot of the One Piece people now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
One Piece apparently had a bad episode last night. And people are just like, oh man, they reused animation. They didn't use Zoro's 104-pound cannon. What the are they doing? It's like, okay, see, that's the problem.
When
Once
it's
they
not
have-
immediate turn.
Once it goes down just a little bit, it's like, this is not the standards to which we are accustomed. Boo. It's like, the story.
You whip those animators. It's like, hey, calm down.
I do. I've seen so many things where it's just like, what are the animators doing? We need this to be pretty. It's one of the biggest and I'm like, these mobs are working for $2 an hour, 30 days a week. And you're just like, oh my God, it's not as pretty, fool.
Actually, I meant to mention this during the Zelda talk. So, have you guys seen the Breath of the Wild co-op mod?
Oh yeah.
So
Thumbs down. Am I right, Nintendo?
so there was a bounty made many months ago at this point, maybe years. It's been a bit. This YouTuber was just like, hey, I'm going to offer up a 10K bounty to anyone that can make a co-op mod for Breath of the Wild. Someone actually did it, and then he won the bounty. As far as I know, it seemingly was like either going to be paid or paid, and he was working with that modder and was like posting a lot of videos of the mod on his YouTube. And then once it became publicly available, Nintendo started throwing out the ban hammer, throwing out copyright claims on the videos and what have you.
Some even non-modded videos have been getting struck.
Mm-hmm. And like this, I'm curious if this is the reason in my head, because Nintendo has done this before. Whenever a like game/feature is about to come out, they will go after anything kind of related to that. The thing that I'm thinking of is Metroid 2. The second Metroid game originally came out for the Game Boy, like way back in the day. Modders in like the late 2010s-ish made a completely fan-made game called AM2R. It's another Metroid 2 remake in the like Super Metroid engine, so it was like fully colored, nice sprite graphics, completely remade the game from the bottom up. I played it, very fun. And then out of the blue, Nintendo's like, hey, cease and desist, remove this from the internet. I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. Like, why are they doing that? But then like a month or two later, Nintendo announced the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS. So I'm wondering if there is actual co-op stuff that's going to be added in Tears of a Kingdom. Because it seems to be out of the blue where it's just like, we're going after this specific thing hard.
Yeah, you keep that hope alive, little buddy.
It's a thought.
Yeah, you keep that thought alive, little buddy.
So I'm curious.
It's Nintendo doing Nintendo things. That's what I believe.
As, more than likely, but there is precedent in the past where when there's a thing that they are going to unveil, they go after anybody else doing that thing. We got a teaser trailer for The Marvels.
I like the trailer.
Yeah, it's all right.
I like the trailer.
Most downvoted Marvel trailer in history.
I have no idea why. Couldn't fathom why. Woms is correct. I love near the end where they're fighting. One of them uses their powers and it switches to the other. And loved it. Rewatched it like 10 times. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to be perfectly fine with this movie. I don't know if I'm going to love it though.
Speaking of movies, I just found this really funny. So this past weekend, there was like a Fathom event for like 1 day or 2 days, I'm not sure how long, where they put Lord of the Rings Return of the King in theaters. It was 1 day, it was Thursday. And on that day, Lord of the Rings, and it was very limited theaters that were doing it, outgrossed both the movie Air and Reinfeld.
Sad days.
Just a, like, how old is this movie now? Like 15 years? It's pretty up there.
Middle finger to you.
Just like, we're just going to release it a few theaters here and there. It grossed $1 million more than 2 movies in way more theaters. I just found that really funny.
To be fair, I don't think Air, they expect too much out of Air.
Yeah. Did you guys see the cast announcement for the Scott Pilgrim animated TV show?
It's basically the cast.
They got everyone.
Yeah.
They got everyone. And that's like,
you flash a bit of cast, of course you're going to get some people just going, I just got to sit down for 3 hours, say some words, and then peace out. 3 million? Sure.
But like, a lot of those names are a lot bigger now.
Yeah, they become people. It's basically the reason Atlanta shut down, like they ended the series, because all 4 of the main characters are all big people now, and they just can't match up those schedules anymore.
You got Chris Evans, I mean, Michael Cera is still huge. Mary Elizabeth's pretty big now.
Love her.
Oh my God, Captain Marvel. I'm always forgetting her name.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, Brie Larson's huge now.
Right back to the hate train, Marvel fans.
It's just insane that they got everyone. So super looking forward to that. On the note of movies and just like good news, Jeremy Renner, he's back to walking again. A bit with a cane, but a couple of days ago he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel walking to the set on his own power.
Walking is walking.
Yep.
That's good. Better than what he was doing before.
Yeah. That picture, dude, of him in the hospital bed.
Please read Miss Marvel. Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff for him. We got... This one was just kind of somewhat out of left field, at least for someone not in the know-how. The WWE and UFC are set to merge into one company.
There's no set. It's basically done. They just need approval. Yeah, it was for people that are in the know. WWE has been basically dangling that they want to be sold since essentially late last year to the beginning of this year. Vince wormed himself back into the board after his multitude of allegations. And he went, this is only because we want to sell. And they sold. And now this entity, wrestlers are going to get let go immediately. The money they're going to make is going to go get so much less. For enhancement talents, those mid-card guys like Mustafa Ali, he's getting that pay cut or he's getting cut.
But you would think that there would be money to be saved because something like a secretary, they can do essentially the same job with just more responsibilities with the WWE. Like lower level people, behind the scenes people can just do like both jobs and they can save a little bit of money there instead of the on-air talent.
Okay, let's say you do that. What are you saving? $400K a year? That's a contract.
Yeah, you're right.
So, just a little thing I have here. So, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter, World Wrestling Entertainment and UFC's Endeavor will form under a new company, Endeavor Group Holdings World Wrestling Entertainment, operating under the ticket symbol TKO. Endeavor will hold a 51% controlling interest, while WWE shareholders will own a 49% share in the company.
And Vince is one of the most powerful people in this new company.
Crazy.
Isn't he like back as being chairman?
No. There's basically two people above him.
I'm assuming Dana White is one of them.
I don't even think Dana's one of them.
Really?
I think he's right equal or right under.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Vince, he won.
It remains to be seen how this affects the on-air, off-air, things like that. Like, if there's a SummerSlam or something like that, will they be advertising it on UFC or something like that, or vice versa?
He's already been rewriting scripts, by the way.
No, I mean...
you're talking about
the merger itself, not Vince himself.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird hearing Joe Rogan go, she catch the latest suplexing action on SmackDown or something.
I forgot that trailer came out too. Blue Beetle.
I liked it a lot.
Same here. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm glad they went Jaime. And I hope there's some good stuff.
Maybe this is just the Young Justice kind of coloring me, because that's the only thing I've really seen of Blue Beetle too much, where the Beetle was like, you must kill everything. But just like the Beetle being like this nice little lady voice. I was like, that seems a bit different, but I don't know how it is actually in the comics.
I mean, it's hard to say in the comics.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, just like the tone of voice was like very nice and comforting versus destroy your target.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, but I think a lot of things are happening in this space, is basically right around the same time, both a Lord of the Rings reboot movies were announced, as well as the Harry Potter reboot television show that will last 10 years, and just a lot of reboots coming out of the woodwork.
There's nothing else. Nostalgia is at an all-time high. I don't know if we've ever seen a period in time where there's been so many rehashing of things that people loved from 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Harry Potter was 10 years ago or so.
The final movie.
To keep a license, meme.
Yeah, no, you've got to... I understand, because that's the same thing that happened with Sony. They had to put out a Spider-Man movie every 3 or 4 years in order to keep the license or whatever it was. So I understand we've got to do something, otherwise the license expires. I have no issue with that. It's the let's just tell the story again thing. Let's not tell a new story. Let's not explore more of the world.
How much are you going to improve on the movies? It's just going to be adding the things that were taken out, but it's going to go from a 7 to an 8. Oh, big deal.
Dude, you guys haven't seen them. The Lord of the Rings movies are really, really fucking good.
Oh, no, I was talking about Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, but I was like, for Lord of the Rings, I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, you're just telling the story, but longer at that point.
But there's already extended cuts of those movies.
But even longer.
The extended cuts, that's like almost a day of movie. Like a legitimate 24 hours of movie.
Yeah, but longer.
I'm not even counting The Hobbit. And they milked that one book into 3 movies.
Oh, they were not playing around with that boy. But like, what is adding him gonna do other than like, oh, look, it's Peeves?
Yeah.
Now we get him. The subplot of Fred and George getting robbed with goblin gold in the 4th book.
Like
what is
more
that going
Percy and him being an asshole?
And you're just opening yourself up to comparisons because people are going to be like, oh, but Emma Watson, no.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. And it's going to be a season of book, so people are already like, oh, hopefully the Harry and Voldemort battle aren't a bunch of light shows. And it's just like, you are waiting until the next decade to see that. Like, how do you stretch that first book out into, let's say, a 10-episode season? Into 10 hours.
And they're also just banking on the fact that, hey, these people are under 10-year contracts. Hope none of them become racist or anything.
Hope none of them grow or don't grow in the ways we need.
I would love it. It's like they go to these kids. It's like, you all shut the fuck up for 10 years.
Because that's what happened to. That's what happened to both one of the children from Lois and Superman and Lois, and it's what happened to one of the love interests of Wednesday. It was just like, oh, tug collar.
But yeah, you look at Neville and you look at how he's described in the book. It's just like, no, this is just some guy that looks kind of dorky, but that's kind of in. So, but in the book, it's just like, oh, he's basically a troll. He killed the snake. It's like, no, we can see movie Neville killing the snake. That's no big deal. I can understand. Like somebody like the girl who Hermione, she just grows taller than Ron and Harry. And it's just like, this ain't how it's supposed to be.
They make Hermione black.
Oh, they have to.
I am not.
They have to.
I'm not even pirating this thing.
Well, isn't that another like J.K. Rowling? Like, oh yeah, she always was.
Nudge.
I didn't say she wasn't black.
I just said she had bushy hair, and black people have that, so I think it's a great choice. You are not a woman.
Did you also see is he the director or the producer of this show addressing the that?
No, I didn't.
He was just like, that's just a very online discussion. It's like,
No.
he's like,
there are bills being passed right now.
She's like, she's going to be a great resource for this show. It's just like, you couldn't even try and distance her.
What do you need her for? Read the book and then do the book.
Yeah, adopt the book. What's her words on the page?
What more do you need from her? What was Harry's motivation in this scene? Interpret it yourself. What do you need her for?
Oh, JK's gonna go on Twitter. This isn't very faithful to what I wanted out of Harry Potter. I don't give a what you wanted. She sucks.
But yeah, I keep seeing like certain articles and stuff about just going on the reboot thing, like other companies trying to reboot other franchises. And
there are some that I feel like could work now because it's been enough time and it can come out like a new Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's been it's not even in the public consciousness at this point.
The last one wasn't in like in 2009 or something.
I think it was even earlier than that. I think it was like 2006 or 7. But even if it was 2009, you're talking 14 years ago. And nobody's even... There's been literally nothing. It's not like a Harry Potter, which just came out with... Which still has movies tied into it. What was the other thing you said? Yeah, Fantastic Beasts. What were the other things you said? Oh, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings just had Hobbit movies. Like, it just had...
The TV show.
Yeah, it has a new TV show now.
Which is telling new stories.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that you can bring back and just be like, all right, cool, let's get a new Freddy. I know they're working on a new Final Destination, those types of things. Things that haven't gotten any media in legitimately a decade, and nobody's thinking about them, nobody's talking about them.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Okay, 2 of these kind of make sense. So, in the era of reboots, even IGN, Amazon is looking to more and more of its owned IP, especially now after acquiring MGM, which includes properties like RoboCop, Legally Blonde, Fame, Stargate, Barbershop, The Magnificent Seven, Pink Panther, and The Thomas Crown Affair. Stargate, sure. RoboCop,
Stargate and RoboCop, yes.
Why reboot Legally Blonde?
I was just about to say that. How many people are you gonna get from old fans of Legally Blonde coming into the new one?
And is it going to be tonally the same? Because you look at the Fresh Prince where they turn dramatic. Are they going to make Legally Blonde more dramatic where there's some type of sexual allegation type of thing to tie it to current events? Mm-hmm. That's a whole plot line of a season or something.
But didn't they actually, now that I think about it, they tried to make a new RoboCop movie somewhat recently and it bombed, right?
Yeah, they did.
I thought that was Judge Dredd.
Nope, no. It was a RoboCop. Don't you remember the
oh
visor?
Yeah, the weirdo visor.
Wasn't that in the MK11 as well?
It was one of his outfits that could be.
Boy.
Yeah, Stargate. God, that was just one of those like other sci-fi shows that I never watched. But like, when was the last Stargate episode? That has been a long time.
2014.
Ooh, that boy made $14 million.
What? What? It made $240 million.
I've never heard anybody talking about it, so I thought it just farted and left.
All right, Stargate. Its last series ended. Oh, there's a web series recently, but the last TV series ended in 2011. Apparently, there was a web series in 2018.
Mixed reviews, 49%, all bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Stargate, few and far between. I feel like just there's a cult audience that would really get behind that. But yeah, just lots and lots and lots of reboots as of recently.
I mean, it's been the same thing that we've seen for the past like 5, 6, 7 years.
Probably longer, but
yeah, games coming out rebooted or remakes and those types of things. Though it's not gonna stop. And it was something different. Even like 5-10 years ago, where you had like When a Stranger Calls, that remake. It didn't feel nearly as prevalent as it does now.
Has there ever been a rebooted book?
Of what? Oh, Ready Player 2, kinda.
That was a sequel.
Yeah, okay. You say that.
Yeah, I think that's a very good. I don't think so because it's
Where JK comes out with, but
what can you? I can understand like updating movies, the visuals and all that stuff, but
I could see a writer if they wrote their first, like, just say short novella, and it's just like, well, my prose has gotten better, my wording has gotten better.
Yes.
I can remake this, but I legitimately can't. If anybody would do it, it'd be Stephen King.
Like, the only thing that I can even think of off the top of my head, and this is just like a industry thing, like for manga, where it's like they'll do a pilot chapter, and then like, you know, tell a little bit of a story, but then it's like, okay, official release of the manga, and they'll like retell whatever they did in the pilot.
Yeah, the pilot is usually a volume 1, chapter 0 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Proof of concept, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, besides that, because I'm just trying to think of because obviously reboots are affecting television, they're affecting cinema, they're affecting games. I'm just like, what other industries are they affecting?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Maybe music, because you can like remix your music,
kind of,
for a new one.
Speaking
but
of music,
those are usually just remastered.
DA, have you listened to Baby Metal yet?
What do you think the answer is?
That sounds like a no.
You run with that theory.
Actually, there's.
Romance Dawn was way different.
I have to start training again, so I'm going to listen to it this week.
You got to train somebody? Tomorrow. What are you doing for training?
I'm one of the best.
But what are you training?
Around?
On phones. How to take calls.
Interesting.
Are you taking the training or are you giving the training?
Oh, no, I'm training. I'm giving the training.
That's what I said. Are you training someone?
Yeah.
Okay, no, and then you went and you made a face like no.
No. Oh, no, I thought you... Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
They bring in groups of people every couple months.
Mm-hmm. Let me know if you need more music recommendations too.
I will let you know.
So actually, one of the things that I found recently, and I'm basically done through all my stuff. So unless you guys have anything else to talk about after this,
but we need to get out of here anyway.
So El Nino, one of the band that got me into metal, they had like a big falling out a number of years ago. Big legal battle. There's like suing back and forth, yada yada this, and it led to like stuff about like the name of the band and what. It's very similar to like the whole Breaking Benjamin situation. And the singer and the two guitarists left, and then the drummer, the bassist, and the like percussionist, because they had like Latin percussion as well. They kept the band name, they got new members, and they were doing something over there. However, I found recently that the singer and the two guitarists formed a new band, and that is the real El Nino. They've have about like 6 songs out right now. Been listening to them. I'm like, this is what I want. I'm glad these guys are still making music. Sounds fucking good. You like some good metal? Lions at the Gate is the new band.
There you go.
All right.
I listen to nothing music-wise, except my legitimately 17-hour playlist that I just hit shuffle on and let it go, or anime covers so I can use them in our pre-stream. Everything else is dead.
I do that for my Smash stream mix. I'll put that on repeat a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Unless there's
17 hours. No, I'm saying that's low.
I just said an amount.
Mine is 256.
Mine is actually 57.
Yeah, I'm
and climbing.
I'm thinking of cutting down music in my Smash playlist. I don't know the exact hours amount, but it's like 248 videos, YouTube videos that are in it. But
ours is our anime stream is 7 hours of songs.
there you go. All right. With that, I think we'll call this podcast a close. Fact Man.
We got 20 facts about kingdoms and monarchs.
Oh, that's
20.
interesting. I'll go 2. We're in the second game, and it's Tears of Kingdom. You got 2 eyes, 2 tears fall. We know how it goes.
Basically one eye.
2, 17, 20. 2, I already said 2 Alfonso. 2, 17, 20.
6.
2, 6, 9. 17, 20. 2, 6, 9, 13, 17, 20. 2, 6, 10. 2, 6, 9. Wow, there's an 8 now. 2, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15.
Alfonso has
16,
posted
20.
5 numbers.
9 got it.
There was an ancient king who was so scared of being assassinated, he drank a small amount of poison every day until he built up an immunity to every poison known to man. When the Romans invaded his kingdom and defeated him, he attempted to poison himself to avoid capture and execution, but it didn't work. He eventually asked a servant to kill him with a sword.
What a monkey's paw. A victim of your own doing.
Wow.
Dang, I did it too well. He's mixing poisons like maybe this will do it.
All right,
I feel better.
Bring in
History-
the Cobra. Bring him in.
History Man, do you know this king?
The king's name is, I wasn't even going to try to pronounce it, but it's Mithridates. Mithridates, maybe. Mithridates?
Do you know, Ralph?
I'm trying to figure out how that's even. Spell that for me one more time.
Mithridates.
Mithridates, I would say. Mithridates. Mithridates. Mithridates sounds right. That's crazy. But how do you get immune to every poison?
This is back in 120 BC.
Okay.
They had 3 poisons.
That's fair. That's fair.
He probably bred a new viper to be like, I can do it.
So
That would be like if you worked
Old
at
Persian.
let's say if you worked at like a steel mill and you're always above eating stuff. So you just burn your hands every day, just like, I no longer feel this heat, but now you can't feel your child when you hold them.
Cruel, isn't it?
Well, no, you're an idiot.
there's literally an article in Wikipedia called Mithridates Antidote.
Oh, no.
And it's talking
It
about
is pronounced Mithridates, by the way. That is accurate.
Yes.
And it's talking about, so in his youth, after the assassination of his father, Mithridates V, this is Mithridates VI, Mithridates is said to have lived in the wilderness for 7 years, injuring himself to hardship. While there, and after his ascension, he cultivated an immunity to poisons by regularly ingesting sublethal doses of poisons, particularly the arsenic that killed his father.
Arsenic?
He was he was eating arsenic?
Yep.
This month was like 17, like my daddy was a punk. Watch this. Glug, glug.
Where's the antifreeze? Bring it over.
You're drinking mercury. That's right.
And it's about to take me to the moon, Chug.
Oh, it wasn't even an invading army that led to his death. So after Pompey defeated him in Pontus, Mithridates VI fled to the lands north of the Black Sea in the winter of 66 BC in the hope that he could raise a new army and carry on the war through invading Italy by way of Danube. His preparations proved to be too harsh on the local nobles and populace, and they rebelled against his rule.
Oh my
He reportedly attempted suicide by poison, which failed because of his immunity to the substance. According to Epian's Roman history, he then requested his Gallic bodyguard and friend, Bituitus, to kill him by sword.
Bituitus.
Interesting.
Hey, look, homie, this ain't working. You just gotta hit me with the sword. Just come on.
The dude in the back just checking his watch, like, how long is it supposed to take my king? As long as it needs to. As long as it needs to. Alright, look, I'm not
Look
feeling
here,
nothing.
man. If they catch me here with you, they gonna cut my head off. So,
Yo, bro, can you behead me real quick? Yo, can you just drive your sword into my...
Yeah.
Alright, look, you know I never asked you for anything,
All right, come on,
right? Didn't I save your mama that one time? Look, let's do me this kindness and take off my head.
Please.
Render me between twain with your blade, sir. It's like,
All right. With that, we will end this episode of the podcast of stuff. Tomorrow, going to be trying to finish Hollow Knight. There's still more. There's more keeps
Rip.
popping up.
Ripperoni pepperoni, you made a liar of my pre-stream graphic, Mike.
Sorry. I still play it. I just didn't beat it.
Yeah. I had Saturday. I had Saturday Hollow Knight / Resident Evil 2 remake. And then Tuesday and Wednesday was Smash anyway.
See you tomorrow, playing more Hollow Knight. May or may not beat it. If not, try and wrap it up Wednesday. Tuesday trials once again. Thursday, Ralph, if you want to do anything, always open.
Thursday, Friday. Okay.
Thursday, Friday. And yeah.
For YouTube side, that's at Revisited. That's at A List Exists. We have our live stream Revisited on Saturday. It's celebrating our 100th episode where we're doing a bunch of what if content. What if Broly came to Earth with Goku? Those types of things.
How much of it is Masako?
It's very little, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Very little.
there's so much scum on YouTube.
There are some people that are legitimately just called anime what ifs.
There you go.
And I can't believe it. Wednesday or one of these days, it'll at least be Thursday or Friday. Bad Movie Day. We're going to do the Winnie the Pooh one. I know I still have some in the back catalog, but because of my new setup, it just makes it so much easier to pump out this content.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna come out Thursday or Friday. I'm still gonna do the backlog episodes at some point. It's just not gonna be anytime soon. And Sunday we're doing our cereal maker tier list, cereal tier list from Tier List Maker.
Okay.
All of our brothers are coming over. It's gonna be all 6 of us, and we're just gonna be yelling at each other about cereal.
There you go. All right. With that, thank you everybody for tuning into this episode of the Podcast of Stuff. We will see you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.